Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how to use a P-Flow P117 ultrasonic flow meter. Okay, so when you buy it, this is the set you'll get. It's got a lift out insert with some more gear underneath. You'll of course get a full manual. Okay, but I'm just going to run through a standard installation. Okay, so to begin, take your flow meter out and you'll see there's a top hinged cover with the connections and power switch. So first, flick the switch and turn it on. Okay, so going through menus, you can use any of these shortcuts. Okay, so you can press any of these and it will go to the relevant menu. So for example, OD is a setting for outer diameter of pipe. Okay, so yeah, you can use any of the shortcuts or manually type the menu number to get to a menu. So you see if I type menu and then 11, that will also take you to menu 11. Or the other way is you can use these up and down arrows. Okay, so you'll see as I press down, it's going through the menus. Okay, so the first menu of importance is going to be 11. Okay, so this is where you set the outer diameter of the pipe. So in this case, we're going to install it on this carbon steel pipe here. Okay, so we have a outer diameter of 90 on this pipe. So to set that, I just press enter, type in 90 and then enter again. Okay, the next menu, you'll see if I press down, will be pipe wall thickness. Okay, in this case it's 4.9 millimeters. So if I enter that, I press enter, 4.9, then enter again. Okay, the next will be, oh, that's not important, so the inner diameter will calculate from the previous two values you put in there. Pipe material is the next one. So in this case I've got carbon steel, so to select this I just press enter, then press down until I reach carbon steel. Okay, and then enter again. Next one will be liner. So if you have a liner in your pipe, enter that here. In this case, I do not have a liner, so I select none. Next will be your fluid. Okay, so in this case, I do have water going through this pipe, but if you've got something else, again, just press enter, scroll through, and you can select what you've got. If it's not in that list, you can select here other, and you'll see the next menu. You can manually put in the sound speed of your fluid, but in this case, I do have water, so I'll select that. Okay, transducer type, that won't need to change, so standard is the only option of transducers with this particular flow meter, so leave that on standard. Mounting method, okay, V is the most common, it's the most basic setup, but there are other options like Z, for example. Okay, so in a V method, you basically have your transducers side by side. It'll bounce off the back of the pipe and into the other transducer, whereas with Z method, you have your transducers on opposite sides of the pipe and it's just one single beam. But as I say, V is the most common and we're going to use that in this installation. Okay, and then it will then tell you your transducer spacing. So you see there it says 60.51. Okay, so that's how far the transducers need to be apart from their front face. Okay, so we'll take these transducers out. You'll see they come in a frame, and you'll see on the side of them it's got a flow direction, and also whether it's the downstream transducer or the upstream transducer. So in this case, on this pipe, flow direction is this way. Okay, so what I need to do is set these transducers at 60.5 mil apart. So on each frame, I want to space them at 30.25 mil from the end, basically. So that's actually pretty good where it is. I'll space that basically at 30 mil from the end, and same on this one. If I space that at roughly 30 from the end, Okay, now let me move some stuff around perhaps. So in your kit you'll have some coupling. Okay, you're going to need that, or there's 2 little tubes that come with the kit, and if you use all that, you can restock with basically any silicone based grease. This is what we use and sell. If you run out, you can get some more of this from us. So basically you'll see we've got upstream and downstream, and they're basically going to sit, a little hard with one hand, they're basically going to sit on the pipe like this. Okay, and we just need to put some couplant on these brown ovals. Okay, so that's done basically like a blob of toothpaste. Just make sure it covers that whole sensor surface. Okay, bear with me a second here. Okay, just check. So this is the downstream transducer. So I need to put this on the downstream side. Okay, so I'm just going to place that on there like that. And you'll notice that these frames are magnetic. Okay, so they'll stick straight onto metal pipes. If you don't have a metal pipe or a non-magnetic pipe, you'll see there's these little fittings that pipe straps can go through. So in your kit you'll see it's got some little straps you can run through. They'll basically go through here and tighten up to non-magnetic pipes, but in this case it's nice and easy. Okay, so I'll grab one frame, grab the other frame, and do the same over here. Okay, so I just want them face to face. Make sure they're right up against each other. Okay, so you'll also notice where I've put the transducers, we have a standard or polished section. Okay, so basically you want to avoid rust or paint if possible to get the strongest signal. And the other thing is make sure you're on a long straight piece of pipe where you have enough distance before and after the transducers, so there's no turbulence or aeration or bubbles in the flow. So I've got a decent straight run of pipe, and there's some recommendations in the manual as to how far you should be, before or after your transducers. Okay, so now we're gonna connect up your transducer cables. So you'll see on the cables themselves it says downstream and upstream on the other. So this blue one being downstream, I'll place on, it'll clip in. Okay, and then your other end, it's got a little red dot on there, that just goes towards you when you place it. Excuse me. When you place it into the port. Okay, so that'll plug in like so, and same on the other side. So this one is downstream, and this little notch should face the other transducer, and it should just push in and clip in. Okay, so now we are ready to make some flow measurements. So I'll just turn on the pump. Now there's a couple values we'll need to check to make sure we're measuring correctly. So those would be a signal. Okay, so you can press this signal shortcut and you'll see I have 96. Okay, you want this value to be over 65, so 65 or higher. And if that's low, check the manual. There's some troubleshooting steps you can go through, or it might just need more couplant, or maybe your transducers aren't spaced correctly or something like that. Okay, and the other one of importance is on menu 91. That is this percentage down here. So you'll see I've got 101.2%. You need this you need it at 100% plus or minus 3%. So somewhere between 97 and 103% is acceptable. Okay, so now if we go to rate, that'll show our actual flow rate. I'll give it a second here. Okay, that's also on menu 1 is the flow rate, so you can also dot menu 01, and we should start to see a flow come through here. You can also see on menu 1, you can see that Q value as well, which is handy to make sure your quality stays good and above 65 throughout your measurements. Let's just give this a second to start reading. We can check things in the meantime, make sure our cables are all correctly connected. And the other thing you can see with these transducers, they have this loosen and tighten function. So basically that'll pull it on or away from the pipe. So just make sure it's firmly up against the pipe. You should see the coupling push out from around the sides a little bit, which in this case I think my installation is pretty good, and we shouldn't have an air gap there between the transducer and the pipe. Okay, I still don't have a flow reading. So let's just check a few things. Let's just make sure my configuration is still correct. I may have pressed something accidentally. So I got 90, 4.9, carbon steel, no liner, water, standard transducers and groove formation, and 60.5, which I've got them at 3 centimeters either side, making 60. Half a mil is going to be fine within tolerance. Still probably no reading, I'm guessing. Signal qualities, maybe I have a cable incorrect. Upstream, yeah, I have a mistake. Upstream should be blue and downstream should be red. So I have these backwards. Actually I just have them wrong here. I have these backwards. So easy to make that mistake, I suppose. So that's just going through basic troubleshooting as well. It's a bonus for you. Make sure you got your cables around the right way. Okay, let's see now. So our signal quality jumped back up. So it would have been receiving the signal still with the cables the wrong way around, but obviously the flow, it wasn't seeing any flow, so that's a good sign that my cables were backwards. So now I'll just recheck on menu 91. That percentage is still good, so I got 100.4. There we go. And if I go on the flow rate, now you'll see I have some flow being measured. Okay. And from here, this is obviously measuring now live. This is what we're seeing in the pipe. You can use data logging if you need to. So that's fairly simple and explained in the manual. Basically, collection time, you said how long you want it to log for, so that's 2 hours set right there. I'll take a log every 2 seconds. Press start, and you'll see now it'll graph out what it's logging. So this will log for the next 2 hours now, or you can manually stop it, and you'll see once it's complete, there's an SD card there that's got your actual data on, which you can retrieve and view on a computer at a later time. And that's pretty much it. That's how you set up this flow meter and make a measurement. Thanks for watching.